Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Guys, Piers, hope everyone's keeping well. So I run Serviced Accommodation Business since 2018. I have got several clients who started service accommodation with my sourcing. So, you know, they had no units before. Now they've got several clients who's got over 5 units or even more. At some of my clients have actually scaled up massively. And also I've got an online program which basically talks about how to be top 1% of service accommodation owners in the UK. So guys, welcome to a free training. Today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to run through, you know, the top part of, you know, the service accommodation business in general. And it's because I get asked so many questions over social media, it's always nice to connect to you guys through, you know, little trainings like this, which will add value. There'll be so many other stuff. If you keep going through this video today, you will see a lot more screen share and a lot more information on service accommodation business. The exciting journey of service accommodation is really to understand, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, to take the right step, to have the right plug and play, so that when you are ready to get your first unit, you will have everything ready to kind of implement and start your journey. So, you know, I have designed this and you guys are here for a treat just purely because it's a nutshell of what a service accommodation owner should think of while starting their service accommodation journey. Now, in the previous videos I've done, I've shared quite a little part of, you know, how to create a business plan and everything together. Now, in this video, we will actually go through in details about, you know, how to be top 1% of service accommodation owners and making sure the right things are implemented in the business that you're going to get into. Without further ado, I'm going to share you my screen and we'll go through the training program together right now. So, how to be top 1% of service accommodation owners, and I have based this training purely on the fact of action taken only. So it's only actions that you're going to deliver. So the first part I've covered, as you can see, is creating a business plan for service accommodation business. Now, hopefully, just to touch base on this, you probably do understand what a service accommodation business is. If there's listeners out there, viewers out there who do not understand service accommodation business, in a nutshell, it's just providing accommodation as a holiday let, short-term let, furnished, fully furnished, equipped for clients to come in and stay either for 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, you know, weeks, months, instead of hotels. And what we do is, in reality, when you're creating a business plan for service accommodation, as you can see from the screen, I have always chosen 4 main topics that has always kind of shaped up every business, really, not just service accommodation, but as we go, you'll see quite a lot of details on how I kind of put this in place for, you know, the people, the brand and marketing, the operational legals, and the sales and performance. So with every business, you should always start with a brainstorming session followed by a business plan. So as you can see, there are my 4 things that I massively look at, and that's how we start your journey of service accommodation business. Now, people. So on this free guide, I'm obviously going to take through all the kind of the people, the brand and marketing, the operational legals, and the sales and performance. But the first part, which every business would always require, is to make sure to have strong people in places or team in places that you're going to deal with. So I've listed few people that you're going to deal in your service accommodation business, and it's very important that, you know, you get this right from very first day to have a successful, you know, property running. And not only your property, but if you want to scale your business of service accommodation, you should have that all ready and handy with you. So the first one, first people involved in your service accommodation business is your housekeeping team or cleaners. Now, they are key to your successful operational for your business, and also throughout my journey, I've realised that the reward is there for them when, you know, the apartment is just clean and the clients are giving five-star reviews. And what I tend to do is, with my housekeeping team, I generally offer them a little bonus scheme. So as long as I get a monthly review of 5-star for cleanliness, then I know that I can reward my housekeeping team. Such a little tip and guide for you guys, that if you do this, your cleaners will make sure that they would like that £50 bonus, and they will make sure that the apartments and the accommodation that you've got are cleaned in proper and details, because they will successfully get another £50 on top of their normal charges and the bills. The second team that you've got to look at, and your people, very important, is your channel manager. Now, building a relationship with one channel manager who can effectively help you with your day-to-day running of your kind of operational calendar, rates, and also be approachable to ask them questions, because if you've got a great relationship with your channel manager, one thing I've always noticed, especially in my early days of 2018, that I was able to call my channel manager, and I've got such a great relationship with them, that I was able to find more potential areas of investments, because they could tell you where people were, or other clients were having a great success on their units, and effectively that allows kind of us to achieve a better information based on what a channel manager is saying as well. So having a key relationship with one person in that channel manager is very important. So again, just in a nutshell, if you don't know what channel manager is, it's just a platform that kind of links all your OTA, so online travel agents such as Airbnb, Booking.com, and what they do is they kind of link your calendar, your description, your pictures, pretty much everything at one place, so you have to control everything in one place rather than logging into all the different platforms. So quite nice and easy to use, depending on the channel manager you go for, but very, very important part of your people in your business. Now, your third one is your suppliers. Now, suppliers, which is linen, which is furnitures, which is toiletries. So if you're looking to scale up quickly, all of the above companies are, as valuable and important because at the end of the day, as you scale up, you're going to purchase more, and hopefully you'll be able to negotiate on price. And we're in the business of service accommodation to scale up at the end of the day, and that's very important. That, again, from a people side of it, it's again quite important that we make sure that we have good relationship with our suppliers, and effectively in the long term, they're the one that going to give you and provide you the pretty much the tools and the products that you need for your apartments. Moving on to your online booking platforms. Now, it's so important that you understand each of the platforms and the types of guests who uses them. So I think one of the biggest thing I've realized is a lot of time when people start service accommodation, they really don't have or understand why or who uses what platforms of service accommodation or online travel agents to book their accommodation. And do you know what? Over, again, early days, I still didn't understand, but throughout my journey in the first 6 months, I really understood what Booking.com was bringing me, what Airbnb was bringing me, what sort of clientele they were dealing with, and who attracted each of those platforms. So the other example is also late rooms, and often are people booking last minute, whereas Booking.com would have preferred travel platform for many guests, because it's used nationwide, it's used worldwide, and people use that, or pretty much every time they're looking at some accommodation, be hotels or be service accommodation. However, again, if it's Airbnb, people know that Airbnb is either apartments or accommodation just to a family, just one unit, so it's not going to be a shared unit. Although they are shared unit, we are looking at more of letting accommodation on its own. So always knowing your online booking platform, speaking to them, understanding every tools they have on their kind of the back end, which is the extranet, and the back end of Airbnb is very, very important. Now, moving on to next is digital marketing company. To build a long-term relationship with a digital marketing individual or company is very important. The business of service accommodation is offered to client digital, and the right techniques and the knowledge of your business branding will attract the best clients and the best results. Now, I must say, guys, I've talked about this throughout 2019, still in 2020, that, you know, if you haven't got your direct marketing placement, working with either digital company or just doing it yourself, or even investing on an individual who will be able to help you. So one of the things I've seen with my clients, my one-to-one clients, my consulting clients and my online program clients, that I am very, very much driven, and I've got a whole model that I explain and I show my audit clients to explain them that, you know, how important digital marketing is for service accommodation business, and how important that you need to implement so many things to make sure that you have a long-term business of service accommodation. Now, moving on to the last part of people is your guests and clients. Now, to be able to create home away from home for your customers are priceless, especially when people are now more choosing service accommodation than a hotel. I love creating, you know, review strategy for the business and be able to deliver and measure it weekly, monthly, and yearly. So remember, one of the things is your guest is, you know, if they can give you great reviews based on the experience they've had with you, they will make sure they give you great reviews, and that review can be shout out loud everywhere in your, you know, platforms, including your Airbnb, your Booking.com, and that will make other clients who are looking to book accommodation in your area will book you over anyone else, purely because the fact that you've got better reviews. The clients are shouting about you, and yeah, very, very important that you keep your guests and your clients happy. So with all that being said, as you can see from people perspective in service accommodation business, we've just touched base on 6 things, which is your housekeeping team, your channel managers, your suppliers, your online booking platforms, your digital marketing company that you're going to deal with, and your guests and your clients who are going to book your service accommodation. So moving on to my next part of what we've initially discussed for service accommodation business is the branding and marketing. Now, one of the biggest thing I absolutely enjoyed about service accommodation business is the part of branding and marketing, and it's such a must thing. Again, working with many clients, or even hundreds and thousands of clients I've helped through, you know, social media, through my Airbnb hacks, my my Google My Business hack that I've done as well. They've had 300 plus downloads. So combined, I've managed to help so many service accommodation owners. And one of the biggest things I've always seen on social media is that people are lacking marketing of their company. And today we're going to cover a few parts of it. So a few of the questions you'd like to ask yourself, either if you're already a service accommodation owner, or if you're looking to start service accommodation, where do clients find you and your business? So that's one of the questions I always ask my one-to-one clients, my sourcing clients, and even my, you know, consulting clients and online program. The other thing we could ask ourselves is, what would you rate your marketing output overall? Who are you targeting to, and where are those customers looking for you? And there are many other questions about branding and marketing. So a biggest part of my successful portfolio has been my branding and marketing. And, you know, I've been able to share that with so many other clients as well, which has been the most exciting part of my journey, because every time I'm sharing and absolutely implementing my techniques in their listings, I have managed to, you know, make somebody from £400 all the way to £3,000 in one day, just by changing little techniques in their own marketing. So I'm always excited, and what I generally tend to share is, you should always create a weekly marketing plan for your business. Now, this could be as simple as changing your cover pictures on your online travel agencies rather than listings to stand out, and from all your competition. So what you're doing is you're changing, you're constantly kind of improving your listing pictures to make sure that you stand out from your competition. But also this allows you to get your best picture that most people will click on your listing. So what happens in Airbnb, Booking.com, what you're doing is you can view your last 30 days of kind of views and what, when and how people have clicked it. So what that gives you is an idea of what sort of listings working better for you, and eventually what impressions or what clicks are you getting on those listings. So that's quite nice and easy. The other one is register your business in all free business listing platforms. So the key to digital marketing is to make sure service accommodation and business have better presence everywhere. Now, so I suggest you either have somebody in Upwork or Fiverr and hire someone to get you registered in over 50 business listing platforms. I think there are so many free kind of business listing platforms, and it's also important that way you kind of get your branding, your company name out, and rather than just relying on online travel agents. The other one I talk about quite a lot is, to quality professional photos with logos, and it's so important that, your online platforms always has best pictures so that, when people are looking to book, they always look at your pictures first, and, that's what's going to do the talk of your accommodation. So it's very important you do that. And last but not the least, my favorite part, which again I share on my social media, I've helped, I think, thousands of people through my free PDF on this one, it was kind of key to my direct bookings, and it's still key to my direct bookings, is Google My Business. So if you register in Google My Business, you'll be found in Google, and as you probably know, one of the biggest platform in the world is Google, and Google actually allows you to register your business for free. So moving on to operational and legals of service accommodation business. Now, it's such a vast topic. Operationals, I love it, putting system in places, processes in places. So in my online program, I think I've got about 16 or 15 free documents that I share, which kind of tells about all the detailed kind of systems and processes and structure in place for my service accommodation business. But let me show you a few of the things that I think which will be very useful for you guys to think, and especially covers the main part of being a service accommodation owner. So as I talk about a lot through social media, service accommodation is as much as a property investing strategy, so it is also a hospitality business. So with every business, you should have the right legals covered in places, but also create operational habits for easy growth of your business. So if you've got better operational habits, you know that you're going to perform better in your business. And a few of the things that I like to cover is, first of all, you need to be a credentialed legal service accommodation owner. Now, one of the things I cover with all my one-to-one clients, my bespoke investor clients, my online training clients, is I show them literally a checklist of what they need to do, how they need to do, who they need to reach out to kind of be a legal service accommodation owner. Now, it's very important. Again, in early days, I knew over 50% of service accommodation owner didn't have the right credential in places. So again, if you're looking to start your service accommodation business, this is probably the first thing I'll start before I do anything else. The second thing is this is quite strong and very important for rent to service accommodation and also buy to service accommodation. If you're working around lease, is to check the lease and the mortgages. Now, if you're looking to do a rent to service accommodation business, buy to service accommodation business, from a legal perspective, you should always check the lease, the management to allow short-term stay and holiday lets. And this is one of the biggest checks that I make sure our clients are doing it through the right platforms, through the right emails and offers, so that we have the right information in place. Managing your daily tasks. While starting up your service accommodation business, it can be overwhelming because at the end of the day, you're going to be covering all the part of dealing with people, dealing with brand and marketing, you've got all the operational of your business, you've got all the clients that you've got to deal with, but not only that, you also got to worry about your sales and performance and making sure your business is sustainable. So what's that happening? You should have a list of operational tasks that you need to cover on a daily basis if you're managing your units yourself. Now guys, believe me when I say it shouldn't take you, if you've got one unit, it shouldn't take you anything longer than 30 minutes to kind of go through the whole checklist, which I provide, by the way, on my online program and all online one-to-one clients, is the checklist of daily, weekly, quarterly and monthly, and that gives you and sets you up for a successful service accommodation business. The excitement when it comes to sales and performance of your service accommodation business, it's another must that a lot of service accommodation owners do not review it on a weekly basis. Now, one of the things you should do as a service accommodation owner is really be on top of your figures. Now, that could be sitting down every night and filling in a form if you need to. If you're a service accommodation owner, you can go in Excel, you can go and create something quite nice and easy to fill up the details that you've done throughout the day in terms of figures, but also you just manage it on a weekly basis as well. So this is an exciting part for me, and it's actually is flawless. All the above part is completed in detail throughout the process. So here are the things you should cover and share, and I normally generally cover with all my bespoke investor, my one-to-one clients, is measure your performance through every platforms. Now, key to every business is reviewing it every single week. And it could be as simple as, you know, like I said to you earlier, putting in Excel, week 1 to week 52, and the amount of total sales you've made on a weekly basis. It really allows you to overlook your performance throughout the month, throughout the week. And again, you know, I've created kind of little tracker that measures all this for my portfolio, and I make sure I do that all the time. Purely the fact that it's so important to know what you're doing on week on week. So if you've got growth on week, or you know, how many last minute bookings are you making, and you know, how do you kind of accommodate that, and how much money are you making through those last minute, how much long-term bookings are you getting. So it's always nice to see as a business what's important is the financial. The other thing which is also on a sales and performance is the review. Now I put review, and review. So review is what makes service accommodation work for you. And now what I mean by work for you is if you've got great reviews in place, you don't have to worry about much of not getting booked, because purely A, your unit's going to look appealing, B, you've got the best branding and marketing as a company, and C, you've got the best reviews, which means, you know, people are talking about your unit, people have enjoyed their stay. And it's so important that it's a key indicator of performance is measured on a weekly basis. So you make sure that you are looking at this all the time in details, and aiming for that 5-star rating. And you know, you can always ask your client if they've given you 4-star, you should ask them why they've given you 4-star. And also, you know, in the near future, you should be able to kind of overcome those challenges and making sure that you get those 5-star ratings. Thank you so much for watching this free training. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've covered quite a few points of, you know, going through all the basic, little basic parts of service accommodation business, but also quite detail of where I put my impact in general, and what I recommend my clients of one-to-one or the online program. So guys, if you watched this video so far, what I'm doing is I'm giving a free gift away for 20 minutes free phone call with myself. So if you've got any question regarding service accommodation and you want to learn more, you want to understand more, there's a link down below. Please fill that form in. Let's schedule a call, and I hope I'll be able to answer more questions that you might not be able to, or might not have answered in this little training that I've provided. But I hope this step-by-step guide for service accommodation was useful for you guys. Keep actioning, keep reaching out, and yes, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching.